Hey, this is the part 4 of counting function, and last time I promised you to do some counting with wildcard. I am going to explain in a minute what does that counting with a wildcard means. Okay, last time we talked of count if and count ifs when, let's say, we have only females and maybe male and then pass and fail. So you see the words are identical. The words are repeating. If it is female, female is repeating itself. If it is pass, pass is repeating itself. But now, what if only some part of words are changing? The others remaining, only some part is constant, other parts remaining. Let me show you what I mean with that. Okay. Here, you may be having a college with some building called KSU, another building is called SG, another building is called ICT. So KSU have got KSU 34, 36 and so on, and SG have SG 15 and ICT have ICT 10 and so on. So the question is, if you have maybe a very large data like this, and maybe also your data is mixed up like what you are seeing from here, KSU, ICT, and so on. Let me copy this and paste it in a new sheet. And you are having such a data, KSU, ICT. How can you maybe count the number of lecture halls at KSU or number of lecture halls at SG? You think of a very large data, okay, and mixed up, right? So how can you do that? That is what I mean by count function with wildcard. But before I use count function with wildcard, I want you to give you a two-way program. That is the first part. We are going to use filters. Okay, so click on any cell in your data, go to data tab. Okay, from home go to data tab and click on filter funnel, and you will be having your drop down here. You click on that and go to text filters. From text filters, I want the text that contains KSU because I want the building, how many buildings are at KSU. I click OK, and it will ask me lecture halls contains. So contains what? KSU. Okay, I say OK. So I have only values that have KSU. So I have KSU, KSU 35, 37, 39, 40, so on, right? So how can I count these values? Maybe this is again a very big data. So let me use count A and show you what will happen. Count A. So equals count A. See, count A does what count A does. You know that we discussed that on our first part. If you don't know this, you can go back to part 1 of counting functions that I've created for you. So let's count A. Okay, you can select and say enter. You have 22 values. The values you have here are 8. You can see from count here, but again it gives you also other values which are in the hidden cell in between 1 and 22 or 23 row. So if you want to do count A with filtered data, you say equals. You have to include what we call subtotal. Okay, we are going to use subtotal. So for subtotal, the first 1, 2, 3 up to 11 will be counting visible and non-visible ones. Okay, but from 101 to 111 will be counting on only visible. Okay, so I can click on 103. Okay, subtotal 103. This is function number, comma, it is asking for the reference. Reference is here, and I say F4 for absolute referencing for my references, and I say enter. So you see we have 8 KSUs not 22 as with count A, but here we used subtotal with count, and that is the first part of the solution of if only some part of word are repeating and the others are remaining constant. Thank you for joining and stay connected, as in part 5 I'll be discussing how to do counting with wildcard. Thank you.